Well, hi there. This is Mrs. Neiman from Carlsbad Public Library. I'm here to have a fun story time with you today as part of our summer reading program. So I hope you are ready. We are going to have the farm animal stories today. Our theme today is Farm Friends. But I also have my little Australian friend here. This is Carl, the koala bear. I guess koala because he's not really a bear, he's a marsupial. And Carl is wearing his necklace. He's been working hard on earning some brag tags with all his different friends and animal characters he's got on here. Here's one that has a little duck driving a tractor, and here's a koala bear sitting in a tree reading a book. So, Carl, you must have been reading quite a lot. Have you been enjoying your story times? Good. I'm glad you're enjoying summer reading. I hope you are too. I'm going to put Carl right over here. We're going to make a fun craft today. If you've already gotten your craft bag from the library, that's terrific. If you haven't gotten your craft bag yet for this week, stop by or call and have us set one aside so you can be sure to pick one up. I'm trying to put them out on Friday for the following week. So each week there will be a new craft kit for you to pick up. And they're free, so don't worry about that cost or anything. Each craft kit has enough supplies for one student. So if you have more than one child at home who is participating, then you'll need to get one for each person. Now, supplies are limited, but we've made up quite a lot of them, so I'm hoping we have enough for everybody who wants to get a craft bag. All right, well, with that, let's get started with our first story. We're going to start off with one called Farm Flu by Teresa Bateman. This is about a little boy who lives on a farm, and he ends up taking care of the farm while his mom is away one day. My mom's a farmer, so am I. We work the farm through wet and dry. You can see all the farm animals here. I see chickens. There's a cow. Here's some little piglets. And there's some sheep in the back there. And I think that's a horse or a donkey. I'm not sure. Okay. They are pretty busy. But it was likely just as well that Mom was out of town a spell. When marching through the morning dew, I heard the milk cow moo, "Ka-choo!" "Poor thing," I said, "you've got the flu." I'd never helped a sickly cow. I just know how to milk and plow. But I knew what my mom would do if it were me who had the flu. So what is this little boy going to do? He's going to put the cow to bed to get some good rest. I tucked the Guernsey into bed with tissues for her stuffy head. So he's got some Kleenex there and this nice green blanket all pulled up. I brought the hot alfalfa tea and fluffed her pillows hourly. Well, she looks pretty comfortable even though she's not feeling good. She's got a comfy pillow, soft blankets, she's got some nice tea, and she's using up all the tissues, that's for sure. The next day I was up at dawn. The Guernsey cow kept snoring on. I heard a cock-a-doodle-doo, and then the chickens clucked, "Ka-choo! Ka-choo, ka-choo, ka-choo." They're all sneezing. I knew just what my mom would do if it was me who had the flu. The TV room became a coop. I brought them bowls of barley soup. Oh, they're all comfy on the couch. The dog looks a little confused. The barnyard called with chores to do, but then the piglets squealed, "Ka-choo!" Here they all are out in the farmyard going, "Ka-choo, ka-choo, ka-choo." I think this is a very contagious flu. I knew just what my mom would do if it were me who had the flu. I popped the piglets in the tub and gave them all a belly rub. Then just when I was almost through, the turkeys gobbled out, "Ka-choo!" I knew just what my mom would do if it was me who had the flu. They changed the channel. They asked for snacks, said popcorn helped them to relax. They got out chess and checkers too. And then the donkey brayed, "Ka-choo!" Oh my goodness, all the animals are in the house now. And I don't know, they don't look that sick to me, really. They look like they're just kind of having a good time. This little donkey's saying, "More popcorn, please." I knew just what my mom would do if it were me who had the flu. Reclining on the back porch swing, he asked for some of everything. And then a wild and woolly crew arrived and loudly bawled, "Ka-choo!" Who are these animals? These are all the farm sheep. I knew just what my mom would do if it were me who had the flu. The attic had a little room. I cleaned it up with mop and broom and settled in all my woolly guests while urging them to get some rest. It's a pretty crowded little bed. That night, I didn't get much sleep. I hear lots of farm animals, "Baa, oink, cluck, moo, hee haw, gobble, gobble." My room was underneath the sheep. The house was filled with cluck, oink, moo. How odd they all should catch the flu. The next day I arose and yawned. The house was still as morning dawned. I stopped. I listened. No ka-choo. I knew just what my mom would do. Too sick to be outside, I see. Then you're too sick to watch TV. No toys, no games, just stay in bed. No popcorn. You'll have mush instead. A miracle! They all were cured. They hurried out without a word and galloped to the barn with glee, recuperating magically. I followed, but my steps were slow. I felt like half-baked sourdough. Relieved the end was now in view, I stumbled, blinked, and sneezed. Ka-choo! They quickly treated me for flu exactly as my mom would do. And that's the end of that silly story. I like that one. Now I have a little retelling of the Three Little Pigs. And this is kind of a different, interesting little story. I hope you like it. I'm sure you already have heard the story of the Three Little Pigs, the fairy tale. So see if you can compare that story that you know with this one and figure out what kind of things are a little bit different. This one is written by Cecil Kim. I love the illustrations in this book. The illustrations are by Kun Park. Look at that. Isn't that nice? The three pig sisters were ready to leave home. They would make a new house in the woods. Their mother was worried about them. "My dears, have you heard the story of the three pigs and the big bad wolf? Make sure you build solid houses to keep you safe from wolves." Well, that's pretty good advice. The three sisters thought about their mother's words. The oldest sister said, "Those pigs made a mistake. They built three different houses." The middle sister said, "If we work together, we can make one very strong house for all of us." "You are so right," said the youngest sister. The next morning, the sisters left home. Tears streamed from their mother's eyes, and she mopped her face with her apron. "Be careful, dear children," she said. "Don't worry, mother," they said. "We will build a very strong house, and we will defeat any wolf that comes our way." When the sisters arrived in the woods, they found a place to build the house. They divided the work three ways. "I will clear the ground for our home," said the oldest sister. "I will get logs from the woods," said the middle sister. I will make the bricks, said the youngest sister. Now I see three pigs here, but do you see someone else on the picture? How about right here? Someone is eavesdropping. That means listening without anyone noticing. All right, let's see what happens next. While the oldest pig cleared the ground, the middle pig went to get logs. On the way, she saw some tasty berries, so she decided to eat a few. In order to make bricks, the youngest pig needed water. Near the stream, she found some berries, so she decided to eat a few. The two sisters did not know that the berries were sleeping berries. Soon the two pigs were fast asleep. The wolf, who had been watching, rubbed his paws together. "Ha ha! It's been a long time since I last ate. Those two pigs look delicious." At that moment, the oldest pig called, "Sisters, sisters, where are you?" The wolf left the sleeping pigs and ran away to hide. The oldest pig woke her sisters. "Why aren't you working?" "We ate some red berries," they said. "We fell asleep." The oldest pig sniffed the berries, and then she saw the wolf's footprints. "A wolf! Hurry, sisters! We must work together and build our strong house. It's getting urgent." The three sisters worked hard, cutting down trees and making bricks. They set up strong wooden pillars. They built strong walls, and they made doors and windows and a shiny red roof. They had a beautiful, strong house. But the three pig sisters had one more job to do. They had to take care of the big bad wolf. I mean, they did promise their mom, right, that they would be careful. So they made a pot of soup and opened up all the windows. You just smell the soup? What's your favorite kind of soup? You like tomato? Chicken noodle? Maybe you like chili. That's good. The hungry wolf sniffed the air. A delicious smell came from the pig's house, but the house was too strong to blow down. The wolf had to find another way. He remembered the trouble he had had getting down the chimney of another pig's house. He would have to break this door down. The wolf ran at the door, but it was already open. He fell right into the house. Crash! Why is it so dark? He wondered. Then he heard voices. "I'll tie his front legs together. I'll tie his back legs together. I'll feed him sleeping berries." When the wolf woke up, he was tied to a chair. "Shall we drop him down a well?" asked the oldest pig sister. "No, no," cried the wolf. "Please don't. I only bothered you because I'm hungry. An old wolf like me can't hunt for food." What would the pig sisters do? Well, they decided to work together with the pig to make a farm on their land. The oldest pig grew corn, the middle one grew potatoes, and the youngest pig grew apple trees with sweet, juicy apples. What did the wolf do? He weeded the garden and looked after the chickens. Food filled the table in the strong house. "It's great to work together," said the wolf to the three pig sisters. What he said was indeed true, and they all lived and worked together happily for a long, long time. And that's the end. Well, did you notice anything different in that story as compared to the traditional story of the three little pigs? You might have noticed that in this story, the three little pigs were three sisters instead of three brothers. You might have noticed that they built one house instead of three houses. And you might have noticed that at the end of the story, they figured out a way to cooperate with the wolf. And so they could all be happy together. So that's a little different, isn't it? I wonder if you liked that one better or if you liked the regular version better. You'll have to let me know when you come to the library. I've got one more story and then we have got to get on to our craft. So here we go. Farmer McPeepers and his missing milk cows. This one is by Katie S. Duffield with illustrations by Steve Gray. Here we go. There's always some pages at the beginning. Late one summer's evening on Farmer McPeeper's farm, the milk cows were up to no good. I see a cow arm reaching in towards Farmer McPeeper's glasses. At sunrise the next morning, Farmer McPeepers dragged himself out of bed. Let's see if I can get that picture for you. He strolled over to the window and he glanced across, he squinted across the pasture. Good heavens, he cried. Where in the world are my milk cows? He's squinting. He can't see without his glasses. Neither can I. Lickety-split, Farmer McPeepers threw open the screen door and rushed across the yard. Farmer, Mrs. McPeepers called after him, don't forget your glasses. You know you can't see a thing without them. But it was no use. Farmer McPeepers was already at the barn. He at least could see where the barn was. Hold still, Thunderbolt, Farmer McPeepers said as he tightened the saddle on his trusty steed. What's gotten into you, fella? I think you got the wrong horse. Here is Thunderbolt over here. I don't know who this is. Farmer McPeepers and his mount clip-clopped up the road past Myers Pond. A rowboat filled with fishermen bobbed in the water. Wait a minute, are those fishermen? No, they're not. Those are Farmer McPeepers' cows having a little day off to fish. Up and down and up, but Farmer McPeepers didn't see his milk cows. A little farther along, Mr. Farmer McPeepers came upon some young'uns swinging on a rope. He heard wahoo and splash as they dropped into the swimming hole. But Farmer McPeepers didn't see his milk cows. Those are all his milk cows, aren't they? Good heavens, he cried. Where in the world are my milk cows? When he passed a park at the town's edge, a jumper skipped a double Dutch rope while climbers swung from Jungle Jim bars. Someone smiled and waved. Howdy do, Farmer. Farmer nodded and waved back, but still he couldn't see his milk cows. Well, Farmer McPeepers, they're right in front of you. When Farmer reached the town square, a long line of moviegoers snaked its way down the sidewalk. Farmer McPeepers smelled popcorn popping and hot dogs roasting, but he didn't see his milk cows. Good heavens, he cried. Where in the world are my milk cows? Well, do you see them? They're right here lining up for the movie. They're planning to watch Cowabunga Summer. Farmer McPeepers continued on his way until he reached the schoolyard. Skateboarders swooshed by, while soccer players dribbled and drop-kicked. Colorful kites fluttered in the breeze, but Farmer McPeepers didn't see his milk cows. Well, they're just out there having a ball on the skateboards. As Farmer McPeepers headed out of town, fans began cheering the home team, and they filled the ballpark bleachers. Farmer McPeepers heard the crack of the bat, but he did not see his milk cows. Good heavens, he cried. Where in the world are my milk cows? They're right there, Farmer McPeepers. A barn dance commenced at neighbor Nettleton's. The fiddler played while the square dance caller sang out, Swing your partner, do-si-do. It was quite a shindig, but Farmer McPeepers still didn't see his milk cows. Good heavens, he cried. I'm never going to find my milk cows. Well, they're the ones putting on the dance. Farmer McPeepers rode across the yard until he reached a barn. Hold still, Thunderbolt, he said as he loosened the saddle. What's gotten into you, fella? Just then, Farmer McPeepers noticed something shining on the chopping block. Well, looky there, Farmer said. My glasses! Good heavens! Farmer exclaimed. Oh, man, he sees everybody now. Late one summer's evening, on a Farmer McPeepers farm, the milk cows were up to no good. Oh, no, I bet they're ready for another outing, so they're going to have to take the farmer's glasses. Look at, they're planning to travel. They're going to go snorkeling, surfing. They're going to go parachuting. I think they've gotten into a little bit of a bad habit. All right, let's turn to our craft packs. These are free again, so feel free to come and pick one up if you don't have one yet. In your craft pack, you have a bunch of papers like this. So we're going to have you color these, and then you're going to want to glue them together. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some little animal friends. You can color both sides of your animal and then glue them together with a glue stick. So let's see, I'll find this little yellow duck one here and I'll make that one with you. I've got a dog and a horse up here all finished. And you can see that depending on what animal you use for the duck and the chicken, you just use one clothespin for the legs, and then they do stand up. So if you've got some blocks or some Legos at home, you could create a little farmyard and have some fun time playing with that. But let's try to make one together. I'm going to do this little one because I think it'll go a little bit faster. All right, so there's a page with a duck and a chicken. So I'm going to color the duck. And I'm going to go ahead and color it yellow. And if you want to get your crayons out and color with me, that would be great. So I'm just coloring my little duck yellow. I kind of have to put it down on the table in front of me or I'm not able to color it. So that's what I'm doing right now. And now, of course, ducks come in lots of different colors. And you could even make up a fun color for your duck. You don't have to make it a normal color. You could make it a purple color, or you could make it stripy or polka dot, kind of whatever you want to do is fine. Just depends on what kind of a little farm you're going to make. All right, so I colored their bodies yellow. I did not do a very good job, a thorough job. I'm kind of trying to hurry along. Now I'm going to color the bill of the duck. I'm going to do that orange. Okay. And I'm going to give it, so there's my orange. And then I'm going to color the duck's pupil of his eye. I'm going to color that in a little bit. Next, we're going to use a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut these out of the paper. Be careful not to cut into the other pattern as you're going. If you don't have great scissor skills yet, you can always get some help. I know there's probably kids of different ages and skills watching our video. So now let's go ahead and trim this. This is the part where you might need a little help. So I'm going to try to hold this up so you can see what I'm doing. Going around the head. All right, coming around the neck and over the back here. And there's a little bit of a wingtip there. Okay, so that's one ducky cut out. Now I'm going to cut out my other ducky. I'll hold it this way so you can see. You've got quite a few animals there to cut out. There's a horse. There's a dog. There is a goat. A sheep. I believe there is a duck and a rooster. And let's see, I don't know if there's anything other than that. Did I say cow? There's a cow too. So the four-legged animals get 2 clothespins, and the two-legged animals get 1 clothespin. And the reason is because when you put the clothespin on your animal, it has 2 little parts to it, okay? So when I was making these, when we were making the samples up, make sure that if you have trouble balancing your animals, you could put them on a little bit of Play-Doh and that would make them very sturdy. So here's my 2 halves. I'm going to get a glue stick, and you're not going to put the clothespin on until after we've glued it together. So I'm going to run a little bit of glue all over the backside of this duck, and then I'm going to put the 2 uncolored sides together to make a nice little ducky shape. Okay, so now we've got him colored on both sides. You just kind of try to match up the 2 sides, and then put one of your clothespins on, and you have a little ducky. So keep going. Here's one of the sheep dogs we made. And here's the horse. We added a little paper for you to make a saddle in case you want to do that. I think we put that in there. If we didn't, just, you can leave that off or put it on. So whatever you want to do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little story time and craft. We have story time every Tuesday at 10. Every Wednesday at 10. We have teen art at 2 on Wednesdays. We have Mother Goose time for the babies at 10 a.m. on Thursday. And then we have a Lego Club and Craft Club demonstration on Thursday afternoons. So tune into those. I will leave the videos up, so in case you're not available at those times, maybe you're having some swim lessons or some other sports activities this summer, but you can tune it in whenever you're ready. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.